Some things feel dangerous, not because they actually are, but because they were never named. What we don't bring into the light tends to take on a life of its own.
Pour a cup of clarity, sip a spark of insight. Coffee with Karma, your morning feels just right.
That's exactly the tension at the heart of Val Lewton's movie Cat People. And it's the same tension that many authors feel or experience when clarity is missing. Fear fills the space where thinking hasn't finished its job. Hi, my name is Carma Spence, and I help established experts avoid writing a book that sounds impressive but does nothing by shaping the one that people immediately understand and trust and act on. If you're watching this video on YouTube, please like this video, comment below, share it with others who are interested in this topic, and subscribe to my channel. That way, the YouTube algorithm knows that this video can help other people like you who want to grow their business with books. Now let's get to 3 ways that the film from 1943, I believe, Cat People, explains about writing resistance. The real tension isn't the transformation. It's what happens when truth stays unexamined. Irina's fear isn't really of becoming a panther. It's never naming what must be true for her to live safely. The silence around her truth creates the danger. So, when you haven't named the things that you need to name about your book, created that outline, created a book promise, all those things that give the book form before it's actually written, that can cause writing resistance because you don't know what to write. You don't know what to write. So that's why I have all my clients start with who they're writing it for, what goals they want it to achieve. Then we develop a book promise. Then we develop an outline, and then we write. All that pre-work helps make the writing go much more smoothly and quickly. Number 2, fear doesn't come from action. It comes from unresolved thinking waiting in the shadows. Nothing terrible happens until uncertainty lingers. The mind fills the gaps left by unspoken rules. What isn't clarified early turns into threat later. That's the way the whole movie was. Through a good part of the movie, you're like, does she really turn into a panther or does she just think she turns into a panther? I think it becomes more concrete that she is actually turning into a panther at some point. But the film is sort of a foreshadow of the film Total Recall. The first time I saw Total Recall, I thought, yeah, of course he's on Mars and having all these weird experiences. But then you start reading comments about it, and you start watching again, and you see all these clues that point to maybe he never went to Mars. Maybe it is all in his head. And at the end, you're not sure. You're not sure what's real and what's not real. And Cat People has that sort of nuance to it as well. And it illustrates how when we don't plan ahead, we don't outline where we want to go, how we want to get there, all those things I just talked about, it can create these little mental loops that create writing resistance. Suddenly, writing that book feels threatening because you don't know where it's going. It becomes the ideas that you want in the book are staring at you from the shadows rather than being in the light. Number 3, clarity removes the monster effect. Ambiguity lets it grow. Darkness and suggestion make the fear feel bigger than it is. When the rules are unclear, imagination runs wild. Light, boundaries, and naming reduce distortion. So, by doing the research up front so that you know very clearly who you're writing it for, what goals you want the book to achieve, and creating the plan of action to execute on that makes the writing easier because it brings all those things to the light. It brings it to light, it creates boundaries, and it names so that your resistance is reduced. So, what can you do to make all this happen for you? Before your next writing session, clarify at least one condition that would make it feel safe to proceed. That's your action step for today. Next week, I will be back and talking about strategic publishing decisions. On the first video of next week, it'll be 5 strategic publishing decisions that raise your book authority. I'll be talking all about how the decisions you make about your cover, about your interior, all the visual things that have nothing to do with the writing affect how your authority shows up in the real world and affects whether people buy your book or not. Buy your book or not, trust your book or not, hire you or not. So that's it for today. I will see you next week. And until then, this is Carma Spence saying ciao for now.